Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And in just a few minutes, Rich Vinci is going to be with us as he is every Wednesday evening talking about consultants in the workplace and some of the things that they're facing. I wanted to talk this evening in his first session about something that should be so simple and yet is so overlooked on the part of especially hiring authorities and companies in hiring people. And 15% of the time, at least, it goes wrong. And that has to do with making a job offer to a candidate. People take it for granted. Oh, I've seen horrible things happen. Companies tell a candidate they're going to make them an offer, and then they don't hear from them for 3 or 4 or 5 days. They send an offer without telling them they're going to do it. They have somebody other than the hiring authority, big mistake, make the offer. Just all kinds of things that make it not very romantic and don't make the candidate feel very comfortable. First thing you need to realize is if you're a hiring authority and as well as a candidate, but thing you have to realize is interviewing around is like dating. You can do all of it and it doesn't take any commitment. Making a decision and making a commitment to take a job is a commitment. And lots of people are afraid to make commitments. That's why you as candidates see hiring processes drag on and on and on and on. It's because people don't want to make a commitment. They're scared of making a commitment. So you got to realize that the making an offer is making a commitment or offering to make a commitment, and accepting a job is the same thing. It's offering, it's making a commitment to a company and a company making a commitment to an individual. And that's a lot different than just interviewing around. So you got to be aware that it is an emotional decision on both parties. Secondly, and this is probably the most important thing that can be done in making an offer, is before a formal offer is made, the hiring authority and the candidate should have a pre-offer conversation and sell the opportunity. Have a conversation about what the offer will look like. Not just money, but benefits, everything. A conversation so that it's relaxed. It doesn't feel like it's being pressed. And before the offer is made, discussing anything and everything about the offer that can be, covering any questions that the candidate might have, covering any questions the employer might have. They have discussing the whole thing of what it's going to look like. So if there are any problems or if there are any challenges in the offer, you're going to know then. As a hiring authority, you're going to know then if the candidate has any problems. The candidate's going to know if they have any problems too, because inevitably there's a lot of details that are brought up in a situation like this that may not be brought up in a formal offer. So a relaxed conversation so that they can understand, the candidate can understand everything about the offer and the employer can understand every question that the candidate might have about the offer, have it very clear cut way before you get to the formal offer stage. That's the most important thing you can do in an offer, is have that pre-offer conversation and sell the candidate on the opportunity and the candidate can continue to sell themselves, but find out a lot of detail. Then in making the formal offer, boy, a lot of companies do this and make big mistakes in doing it. They have the HR department do it. The other day, I had a candidate on the phone with a hiring manager, and somebody from HR was on the call, and they were reminding the candidate that some policy changed about work from home and work from what they could do, and they were real dictatorial, and they weren't very soothing at all. In fact, it turned the candidate off, and he didn't end up taking the job. Only the person who's doing the hiring should make the offer and make the formal offer to the candidate. And all of the questions that the candidate may have had have been brought up in the pre-offer conversation. And so it should be real easy to do this. In my opinion, the hiring authority should be the one to make the offer. A lot of times, hiring authorities don't. It comes from the HR department. The hiring authority doesn't know when it's going to come or how it's going to come. And there might be hordes of pages in there of things that the hiring authority didn't talk about with the candidate. But once the candidate gets the formal offer, they should know what they're going to be, what they're going to see. They should know what to expect. It should be done by the hiring authority. And if there are any questions, the hiring authority should be open to the conversation, open to a conversation about those. All right, that's just the start. Next week, we're going to discuss the rest of the formal job offer. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashar with the Job Search Solution.